You know, when you wake up the morning after a primetime game and you're somewhere between mentally exhausted in zombie mode, but also like extremely motivated, whether it be from a fan's perspective or a business perspective? Well, I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, but not really, because we got another week at the very least of postseason football. Congratulations. I hope you guys have been enjoying your victory Sunday. I can tell you right now, due to smelling salts and ghosts, multiple ghosts, that is, I catnapped. I then forgot my sleep mask back home after the holidays. So I choose to not have curtains in my room because when the sun's up, I'm up, which means I didn't sleep a lick. So let's see what this live stream becomes. Who knows? Maybe I'll have some smelling salts come out of the cabinet here in a second off to my right. What's going on, guys? I appreciate you for being here this evening. It is 4:55 Eastern on Sunday, January 12th, and we now know what divisional round weekend will look like across the AFC. Tonight's live stream is brought to you by my Instagram page, and you can find me this postseason on Instagram at Bobby Baltimore. You can learn more and get more information. The pinned comment right now is in the live chat, and quickly already a highly attended show. Let's get into it. Buffalo Bills will host the Baltimore Ravens coming up next weekend at a to-be-determined time and date. Josh Allen gets it done, 20 of 26, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, a clean game, no giveaways, and Buffalo thumps the Denver Broncos, who will be a force to be reckoned with, I would think, given Bo Nix and how wise he is beyond his years, even though he's one of the more experienced rookie quarterbacks because of how much time that he had at the college ranks. But 31-7 is the final. So the Bills move on to the divisional round, and now we get the much anticipated, long awaited rematch of what we saw take place in week 4 on Sunday Night Football in Baltimore. We all remember it. It was a game that was utterly dominated by the Ravens. We'll get into those in just a bit, but this will be round 5 career matchups between Josh and Lamar. And Josh, a short while ago, caught up with Tracy Wolfson in his post-game interview on CBS and had this to say about matching up with his former draft classmate, and that is Lamar Jackson.
I know you're going to say you need some time to enjoy this one, but up next, the MVP matchup. Everyone's going to talk about you and Lamar. You faced this team earlier in this season. Your early thoughts on that one?
Well, they got after us earlier this year, so we got a lot of film to watch. It's a great team. It's a great quarterback, obviously, with Lamar, what he's able to do. He's one of the most dynamic, if not the most dynamic quarterback in the league. He's so fun to watch, but I'll be watching their defense this week, so that's our focus.
How dang likable is Josh Allen? The same could be said for Lamar. You wouldn't know, right? They wouldn't know. I'm sure they are well aware. But with how much of a bloodbath this dialogue, this discourse has been between the two fan bases for weeks, if not months, surrounding NFL MVP, you can lose sight in just how likable these guys are for their respective organizations, their personalities, the way they play the game, and obviously they are candidates for NFL MVP for a reason. I think we all agree that it is still Lamar as MV3. Tony Romo didn't stop him from yet again doubling down on referring to the MVP race as a coin flip during the broadcast. Jim Nantz agreed. I don't believe either one of them have a vote, and they should probably go talk to the 50 distinguished media members that voted on the Associated Press All-Pro, who, of course, voted Lamar first team by a comfortable margin. 30 first-place votes this past week went to Lamar. I believe 17 or 18 went to Josh, and the other couple went to Joe Burrow. But that's neither here nor there. Your divisional round matchups, Baltimore at Buffalo, and Houston, who took care of the Chargers in convincing fashion yesterday, go to Kansas City. So Houston at Kansas City, Baltimore at Buffalo, and that's coming up next weekend. And, of course, for the Chiefs, it'll be after resting their starters in the regular season finale, followed by the bye that they're currently on. And my, oh my, looking at this one, though, Baltimore at Buffalo, this has the makings of being an instant classic. As Jonas noted here, the NFL's top 2 offenses and MVP favorites will square off. The Ravens own the number 1 offensive DVOA. They're number 1 in passing, number 1 in rushing. And how about Buffalo? The number 2 DVOA ranked group offensively speaking, number 2 overall through the air, number 4 rushing. And there's just talent all over the field. But as we watched take place in late September, and granted, the 2 teams were in very different places than they are right now, it was all Baltimore. The Ravens won 35-10, courtesy of 271 rushing yards in a game that the thing was never in doubt, right? But I do have a hard time believing that even if it is months removed, I have a hard time believing that Buffalo is going to have answers, consistent answers for the Ravens' smash mouth football attack. I do. And what we saw last night was a great example of Pittsburgh having exactly that. No answers for Derrick Henry, no answers for the duo that is 2 future first ballot Hall of Famers in Lamar and the King. But as far as these guys, the draft classmates from the 2018 year, here is their tale of the tape when it comes to their postseason resumes to date. Lamar and Josh, of course, have played once in the head-to-head back in the 2020 playoffs. That game was in the divisional round in Buffalo. And, of course, Lamar was knocked out of that game. He was concussed. And it was a tough night for the Ravens, one to forget for sure. So Josh does have the head-to-head matchup over Lamar in the month of January. Lamar improved to 3-4 with last night's victory in the postseason. Josh improved to 6-5 after today's thumping of the Denver Broncos. And let's be clear, Josh has been the more prolific player, the more consistent player in the month of January so far throughout his career. He does have more of a sample size than Lamar. He's played in 11 games. Lamar's played in 7. Josh has accounted for 29 total touchdowns, 6 turnovers. Lamar's had 11 and 9 in those categories, respectively. Josh has thrown for or accounted for over 3,600 total yards to Lamar's 2,100, and again, 4 less games. And Josh's passer rating, 102.3 to Lamar's 81.2. To me, this will be talked about, I'm sure, throughout the week. But to be quite honest with you, I don't really think it means much at all. I'm of the belief, especially coming off last night, that Lamar is in a different kind of mind frame. It's a what have you done for me lately kind of mind frame. And this whole narrative, this whole label that's been attached to him from the postseason, honestly, to me, it's an afterthought. It's completely irrelevant. And this is a group that has bigger fish to fry, that's cooking on all cylinders right now in all 3 phases. Got to figure out who's going to be your punt return specialist. I would give Tylen another look. That's an area that's a little bit unsettled. Jordan Stout's got to be more consistent as a punter. And we really haven't seen a whole lot of Justin Tucker throughout the last few weeks, even though he did come out of the bye week looking refreshed and he had hit a couple 50-plus yarders in the last month or so. But it's just like looking at these numbers, it just doesn't move me. It doesn't give me this overwhelming sense that is who Lamar is, as Nick Wright tried to jam down all of our throats within the last day or so. No, Lamar's in year 7. He's got the calluses. He understands how to treat the preparation. He understands how to treat and prepare for the emotional toll that it takes in the postseason. And I truly believe that, especially after watching what he did last night. And what about his running mate? 186 yards for the King, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 7.2 yards per carry. And as Sarah noted, and as we discussed at length on last night's postgame stream, for the first time in his postseason career, Lamar does not have to don the Superman cape. He can spread the burden out, enjoy the show, as he put it, in last night's postgame press conference. And my, oh my, was it a show indeed. The King was in stiff arm mode. He had ridiculous numbers, particularly in yards after contact, with 157 of them. He had 12 missed tackles forced and was just a force If you're not going to push him laterally, good night. When he gets downhill and he gets vertical, same goes for Lamar, it's over. And I think Buffalo's going to have a hard time doing exactly that. I really do. I may have a hard time if I end up in Buffalo this upcoming weekend with Be More Around Town. And by the way, Be More Around Town just announced a few moments ago a bunch of different package options to head up to Western New York for this divisional round matchup, which again will be coming up at some point this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. I may have a hard time declining the opportunity to jump through a table mid-live stream, especially after yesterday's first-time experience, for those of you who missed it.
People right here.
Fuck it. Why not?
Baltimore. All right?
Yep.
There you go.
One big
Just one inhale, that's it. Watch, guys, come on.
right here.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
That's it. Wow.
Shout out James, number 55, for giving me my first smelling salts experience. I did 2 rounds of them, and I liken it to taking Vicks Vapor Rub and just like literally inhaling Vicks Vapor Rub. It just sent like this shot right up my nostrils, and I didn't sleep a peep. Some of that was due to this right here. But what a tremendous pregame show experience and environment, thanks to Be More Around Town. I'll run that back once more for those of you who missed it.
The man of the people right here.
Fuck it. Why not?
Baltimore. All right?
Yep.
There you go.
One big
Just one inhale, that's it. Watch, guys, come on.
right here.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
That's it. Wow.
Chris responding accordingly, throwing a $1.99 donation towards Smelling Salts Rehab. Thank you, Chris, for looking out for me. Ocean says, get ready for nonstop Allen glazing this week. LOL. Appreciate you guys for being here. The guest lines just opened up, but before we go to him, and D-Rod, I'm sure he's going to have something to say about the security at Be More Around Town. You already know that. But tonight is brought to you by my friends at the Bobby Baltimore Instagram page and a company of one. That's me. I run it. Just me. And you already know I had to put this one up.
Right here.
Fuck it.
You can find me at Bobby Baltimore.
All right?
Yep.
Second O is a 0. People are having some good fun with this one today.
One inhale, that's
First
it.
smelling salts experience. I also put up reels after every single game. Simply put,
Condensing
Derrick
my
Henry
thoughts
was
into
brought
60
to
to
Baltimore
90
for nights like
seconds.
tonight. 26 carries,
Polio is showing
186
some love.
yards, 2 touchdowns. He changes everything.
Chris,
For the
commenting
first
on
time
my
in Lamar
Prime
Jackson's career, he can spread the burden
Madre
in the
liking the
postseason. He
video
doesn't
because
have
she's
to
so
don the
supportive.
Superman cape every single time. Follow me over there, guys. Would love for you to connect with me this football season. And now let's do this. Let's pin the comments so that we can get as many voices in here as possible. And as I start to transition the conversation and open up these guest lines, I do want to mention that both teams are vastly different. We know going into this round 2 divisional matchup between the Bills and Ravens. But one team that is vastly, vastly different in terms of one phase of the game is without question the Ravens defense. Take a look at this chart right here that tracks defense EPA per play versus offense EPA per play. And look at where the Ravens fall defensively. This is weeks 11 through 18. 11 is obviously notable. It's when they made their personnel adjustments on the back end. This tracks all 4 downs and all 4 quarters. And look at where the Ravens logo is, defensively speaking. They are through the roof. An encouraging sign that you hope carries through into a hostile environment with inevitably some gnarly weather coming up in Orchard Park, Western New York. Brandon Stevens will have a target on his back. There's no question. He did last night, and that's got to get shored up. I get the sense that we could be in for a potential shootout of some sorts. I don't know how much of a shootout, and I got to think about it this week and study up on the 2 teams. Well, study up on Buffalo and how much they've changed, particularly since getting Amari Cooper at the deadline. But I'll be very curious to see if this ends up becoming a track meet between these two organizations. To the guest lines we go. I appreciate you guys for being with me tonight. Like the video, please, if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell along with subscribing to the channel. I'm sure you guys are probably on running on fumes today the way I am, which is why I'm chugging this Ghost Energy. Let's see what D-Rod's doing. And he's got a crew with him as well.
Hey.
What's going on, dude?
What's going on?
What's up, young man?
Say hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Adonis.
What is it?
Adonis.
Adonis is in the house. What's up, dude? Look at that curly hair. Is that where'd you get that curly hair from?
I
Say
don't know.
mommy.
Mommy.
Hey, Adonis, are you enjoying your victory Sunday after the Ravens win or what?
Yes.
Heck yeah. I saw your dad yesterday. I got to meet him in person for the first time. We had a good time, dude. What's up, D-Rod?
What's going on, Bobby?
How we feeling the day after, man?
I'm excited. I'm excited to be back home. To be honest, we did a lot of walking over there. Like I walked like 40 minutes to where you was at.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And then again, sorry about the miscommunication on the security side of things. I do want to get some breaking news in here that's nothing crazy, but according to ESPN Bet, the Ravens have opened as 1-point road underdogs this upcoming weekend. We don't know what day it is yet. We don't know what time it is. I'd have to think. I'm thinking Sunday night primetime. I think that's what it's going to be, but I don't have any context on that. But the Ravens have opened up as 1-point underdogs. Continue, my friend.
Dope. No, I'm excited. This is gonna be a hell of a game.
Oh yeah,
hell of a game. Honestly, this should be the best game of the weekend if you really think about it. But I think we got it. I think we definitely got to do something about B. Steve because he's starting to mess up. He's starting to mess up bad, and we obviously know what he was doing this season, but we need him to tighten up because it's not good. But honestly,
and you know who took notice of that? Take a look at who took notice of that. Louis Riddick of ESPN tweeted out yesterday that Brandon Stevens is the weak link in that Ravens secondary. No secret. Been that way all year. Struggled against Pickens. Struggled against Van Jefferson. And as Jimmy Smith so eloquently put it a week ago, he's with you stride for stride. He's a physical player. He's a smart player. He's obviously versatile. He was drafted as a safety. He was a college running back. He's been asked to do a lot, and he's in the middle of a contract year with a lot of pressure on him. But unfortunately, it has continued to rear its ugly head. His ball skills, his spatial awareness, his ball awareness, and it's come back to bite the Ravens more often than not this year. And you just kind of wonder, as Josh Allen said a short while ago, and I'll play it for you right here. He was complimenting Lamar, but also said that he's got his focus set on other things. Listen to this.
I know you're going to say you need some time to enjoy this one, but up next, the MVP matchup. Everyone's going to talk about you and Lamar. You faced this team earlier in this season. Your early thoughts on that one?
Well, they got after us earlier this year, so we got a lot of film to watch. It's a great team. It's a great quarterback, obviously, with Lamar, what he's able to do.
I don't hear anything.
He's one of the most dynamic, if not the most dynamic quarterback in the league. He's so fun to watch. But I'll be watching their defense this week, so that's our focus.
I'll be watching their defense this week, he says. And, of course, just like every other opposing team has done, they know when you're watching the defense and you're watching the film, 21 pops, and it's not for the right reasons that he's popping. That's going to be an area that I would expect that Josh Allen to be testing early and often with Keon Coleman, Shakir, and the rest of their boys from a playmaking standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping we tighten it up, but I think we got this. I'm not even nervous or anything. I'm just more excited and more anxious. But hey, man, it was good seeing you again. I'm not gonna sit here and talk to you all day, but it was good seeing you, brother.
Thanks for coming out to the tailgate, brother. Enjoy yourself. We'll talk soon.
I will. Talk to you soon.
And shout out Adonis, man. And shout out the birthday boy, Mike M, reminding us that it's Manny's birthday today. He's posted up in the waiting room right now. Should I make the birthday boy wait, or should we bring him in? Should I make him sweat it out and go to other people first? Why would I do that? Happy birthday, my friend. Good to see you, brother. How'd you celebrate last night? And how are you feeling right now if you celebrated hard?
Well, we didn't celebrate that hard.
I don't know. You're looking like you had a little bit of a night.
I mean, who wouldn't have that type of night with that type of victory against a divisional opponent that everybody is saying, oh, well, it's the Steelers, so they might make the big surprise. So, one moment. This stream is not sponsored by Cinnamon Tea, so
Uh-oh, look at him. He's getting his voice right. You're like Sarah. Sarah not only watched the game with her family in highly vocal fashion, but she also coached 3 basketball games yesterday. And then the night before on Friday was celebrating her 12-year-old daughter's birthday with 12. I guess there's 12 friends over for a sleepover.
hey.
So you're not the only one who's nursing it today. What did you make of last night's beatdown, and what is your feeling going into round 2 in a matchup that, let's be honest, all the NFL executives that are sitting in their mansions right now up there in the Northeast, wherever they are, you already know they're pumping their fists. Everybody wanted this one.
Yeah, and I think from seeing last night, the second half was more so try to chew as much clack as you want.
Oh my God.
It was over. It was 21-0. It's over. Somebody said it on the bar on the tailgate, said that it's like going 34-0 on college or on high school. It's like, how do you get your team back mentally?
Take a look at this,
that
Manny.
stage?
Look at this right here, and I'll give you the final numbers as well, time of possession wise. I mean, it was clearly, and I know some people were like, this is too conservative in the second half. Like, what are you doing? They never didn't have control of this one. And as Jeff Zarebek noted, the Ravens held the ball for 12 minutes and 22 seconds of the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. I mean, just a demoralizing way to finish.
Yep.
And what's even more demoralizing is the final time of possession for all 4 quarters combined. The Ravens possessed the football for 41 minutes and 43 seconds to Pittsburgh's 18-17. I mean, are you shitting me? And the fact that there aren't going to be sweeping changes from the looks of it in Pittsburgh, if I'm Mr. Rooney, I might be reevaluating that, because it's been since 2016 since you won your last playoff game. I get it. They're competitive every single year. Russell Wilson is an aging quarterback. They don't have their future unless they're banking on Justin Fields developing under Mike Tomlin. Times are tough in Steelers country. I know that a lot of you guys are very pleased with that reality.
I heard last night, just because I couldn't sleep. I heard Colin Coward, and he was saying Rooney has to make a trade for getting Tomlin off the team. It's like his value right now. He said, imagine the fan base of the Bears or the Jets having Mike Tomlin just having to reach the playoffs, no losing record. You may lose in the playoffs, but right now their fan base is starving for winning seasons.
Yep.
So trading Tomlin to those teams and getting second round picks or maybe even a first rounder just to get a winning season going, just get the fan base going, and then the rest just develops by itself. I mean, you got guys over there in Tomlin's wing just waiting for the guy just to leave and get a shot.
Listen to Tomlin and how almost helpless or demoralized or just straight up exhausted or defeated. I think all those words suffice. He was post game yesterday, and the compliment that he paid to Lamar.
Congratulations to the Ravens, man. They were the better group today. That was obvious. And really, the X factor was Lamar's unique talents. It seems like every time we got him behind the sticks, he made up for it, or we got him in a possession down circumstance. He extended and won those circumstances, and we never really found a fluid answer all day. Obviously, that was highlighted by our inability to convert third downs in the first half, and they wore us down a little bit. The fatigue component of it became a factor. And so, you can sum it all up to say that they were certainly the better group today.
The fatigue component became a factor. The Ravens, when they boat race teams, not only are they beating you up at the line of scrimmage, but they're literally playing a game of keep away. You don't even get a chance to get into a rhythm as an offensive player like Russell Wilson. You go back and watch that first half over, like I know many of you already have. That was one of the worst halves of offensive football, or just all three phases, from a Pittsburgh Steelers team that they maybe ever put on film. This was utter domination from the opening drive in scripted format when Todd Monken is in his bag. I expect him to do a bunch of virtual interviews this week. Obviously, that's probably going to be done maybe today, maybe tomorrow, being that they have to turn around and quickly get ready for what's potentially either a Saturday or Sunday game in Buffalo. But this was just a group that outmatched Pittsburgh. They outclassed them. That's what they did. They outclassed them.
Yep. And if you look at today's game against Buffalo on the second half started its engine. And
Yes.
against us, against how we played the Steelers last night, they cannot afford a late start. The moment we get, like, let's say, for example, we go 17-0 on the half. Do you think Buffalo is going to have that start on the second half, like the one they had against Denver, against us?
Yeah.
No, Lamar's going to say, you know what? Let's score more points. The defense is going to harass Allen more. Allen's going to make mistakes, and it's going to be a blowout. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I understand that we want to punish them, but in order for us to actually punish the Buffalo Bills, we cannot underestimate their talent, because if we do that, we start shooting ourselves in the foot, and it's the first round Cleveland, like, all over again, and I don't want to afford that.
Birthday boy, awesome seeing you. Get yourself right, will you? And enjoy the rest of your day, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Chad, for the wishes. I'll see you during the week.
All right, man. Get yourself right over there. Look at him getting the tea. Let's go to MacFour down there in Covington, Georgia. What you got for me? Happy Victory Sunday to you and yours, my friend.
Hey, you know the day is, right?
What's the day?
Sunday. I know the day, Sunday, woman. It's at my birthday. I was with you on my birthday last year.
Wait a second now. This is the birthday feedback we got going on. We got the birthday theme. Hey, mute me over there too. Will you? You got a bunch of feedback. Whatever you're listening to me on, mute that.
Yeah, it's probably coming here with the what?
We can't hear mute shit, that? Birthday boy.
What am I? How you mute this?
Yeah, man, this guy, it's his birthday. He thinks he can come on here and screw around with the sound. I mean, let's mute his ass right now. I'm muting your ass. Hey, mute that thing, and I'll bring you back in a second. God damn!
Wow, I was laughing when he was like, "I know a woman."
MacFour, I'm coming back to you. It's your birthday, so just whatever device you're listening to me on a second stream or whatever, mute that. We'll get you back on here in a second. He just logged off the waiting room. We may never see the guy again. I love that dude, though. And happy birthday to him and Manny.
Happy birthday to both of them. Hey,
what's up, brother?
So, I was at the game last night, and I so happened to catch some Steeler violence last night.
You were there for that?
I saw it. Me and my nephew, we was coming out of the stadium like real late because he wanted to, watch because it was his first game there. And then we came out and I saw somebody recording some commotion going on. I think it was gate F that we came out of. I'm not sure. And basically that's what happened. What you see on that video.
Look at this shit right here. Look at these guys. 38's getting dragged. 90's getting 90 just got kneed in the face.
Oh my God.
This is Pittsburgh on Pittsburgh crime. What are we doing here?
That was some UFC shit, Bobby. I'm like, damn.
This is friendly fire right here. Look, 38 is literally being dragged. And then okay, couple different things here. Let's take a look. One, 38's getting dragged. 90 got stupid impact there. But take a look.
This dude gets kneed in the face.
90 literally just got sparred in the face by a boot.
Wow.
Damn.
I don't condone violence, but that shit was funny.
Look at these guys. And again, it's friendly fire.
It's bad. They are down that bad. That's what happens when you lose the division rival. It gets you to that point. But
it looks like the Ravens. It looks like the advantage the Ravens had in the line of scrimmage. I mean, look at this. Are you kidding me?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's exactly what happened.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, your day after thought is what, my friend?
All right. So after that ass whooping we handed to the Steelers, which I comfortably felt like it was going to happen. You know, some things I was worried about going into the game, but I felt like we was going to win. I said it. Day after the thought of that was just, nothing I didn't expect wouldn't happen did happen. They did everything right. They had everything that they said they was going to do all week. You know, they were very focused going into it, and I felt like they came out strong in that first half, and you never looked back. Honestly, they could have put up more points if they wanted to. Now, I'll give Pittsburgh credit for making some adjustments and stopping us on crucial downs or whatnot, but for the most part, I would just say we just dominated that whole entire game. I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, you talk about 13 plays and they were all straight runs like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, there was a talent gap. It was clear from the jump. At one point, Lamar had 5 straight runs himself. King in his postseason debut as a Raven, 26 carries, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. You see the statistic provided here by the Ravens productions graphic, 299 rushing yards. That's the most single game rushing yards in franchise playoff history. So they just clicked on all cylinders. It was clear what the mentality was going in, what the strategy was, and Pittsburgh had no answers. TJ Watt did not record one single statistic.
Nothing.
I know he was banged up. I know that he was double teamed at times, but I thought Roger Rosengarten continued.
He held his own.
He just continued to show his development. His first career snap, as we all remember, the first couple of weeks was one to forget. But since then, he's just put his head down, been a reliable right tackle for them, somebody who is just vicious, right? His hand usage, his lateral movements.
Yeah.
I love how much he's willing to work for his QB1. I'm a big Roger Rosengarten guy. I think Ronnie Stanley's done enough, aside from his couple false starts last night, to earn an extension moving forward. But if Roger really is your future left tackle and he has that versatility, as his high school coach told me and Sarah last April, then I think the future is very, very bright for the Ravens' left-hand side of that line, because he is a bright, bright player who's ascending in year one.
I absolutely agree, Bobby. He is definitely our future. They want to bring back Ronnie for one more year. I mean, that's fine. That's cool. But I think they'll probably, add some bodies in the draft. But we're not thinking about the draft right now. That's down the road. We ain't thinking about that. We on to bigger and better things right now. We got Buffalo coming up, rematch, and they want to get their lick back, but I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. There's some things I would say that one thing I kind of sort of am worried about is, obviously we all talked about, is Brandon Stevens. I don't know what it is going on in his head, going through every single snap that he's taken, but he, like you said, like Jimmy Smith said, the guy does everything right. But when the ball's in the air, is panic sets in and there's doubt. I don't know what it is, but something has got to be done about him. Either they're going to limit his snaps or just bench him altogether. Put somebody else in there. We just
They're not going to bench him now if they haven't already.
Yeah, they haven't. You're right, they haven't. But something's got to be done. They're gonna have to limit his snaps or something. Rotate him in with somebody else, because you can't keep having that guy give up play after play after play like that. That's going to cost us like a game or something, this game. So something's got to be done. Hopefully they make the right necessary adjustments. But all in all, great win last night. And, get ready for the Bills this week.
Jewel, thank you, brother. Enjoy it. I'm going to go back to the birthday boy. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right. See you, Bobby.
Later, man. MacFour, let's give it another go, my friend. Let's give it another go. We'll go down to Covington, Georgia. Happy birthday, my friend.
Can you see me now?
Oh, we can see you and we can hear you clearly. It's as if you're the co-host of this channel right now, my guy. How old today?
61.
61 and ascending, just like the 31-year-old Derrick Henry, who you got by 30 years flat.
Did you have to go there?
Oh, you already know it. You already know it. I knew you'd handle it like a sport. Happy 61st, man. How you celebrating today?
Hey, just sitting here chilling with the fellas, and they recording right now. So how about that game?
How about that game? I mean, it's the talk of the town. In my neighborhood here in Canton, which is a couple miles away from the stadium, you had rabid chants going on after midnight last night. Let's go Ravens. This place was buzzing. The pregame show, as you probably saw, was cooking. And now, obviously, I think a lot of people were pulling for a Denver upset. They're just too early in that kind of rebuild to beat a team like the Bills. This was everyone's matchup they wanted. It's Bills-Ravens. It's the two MVP frontrunners. It's gnarly Western New York weather in the month of January. It's a 1-point favorite right now, are the home team, Buffalo Bills, and a trip to probably go to Kansas City for a chance to go to New Orleans after that. I mean, what more could you possibly ask for?
I think, honestly, the Ravens going to go into Buffalo and show them that I can't cuss. That butt whooping that they gave them in the beginning of the year was not a hoax. Right?
Hey, can I interject? We ain't in the vault. You can let it slide. Let it rip.
Well, since you said that, I hope they give them a can of ass whooping.
Hey, here we go. Mac is here now. He's arrived. The birthday boy has arrived.
Yeah. Hey, but I spent my birthday with you on in the vault last year.
I'm glad you refreshed my memory on that, because I can't even remember what I did yesterday at the tailgate besides smelling salts.
It came back up on my Facebook page, and I just started smiling. I said I was with my brother on my birthday.
I love it, man. I love it. I think there's a lot to be excited about as you make another trip around the sun, because this team is just poised to go the distance. They're built to go the distance, and they ran Pittsburgh out of the stadium. I mean, they never even remotely had a chance to win that game. And sure, they came out of the half and played inspired football with Russ and a couple touchdowns there from Pickens and Jefferson, but those were just coverage breakdowns, really, miscommunications. Yeah.
He's getting on my last damn nerves.
you and everybody else, and I keep bringing up this tweet right here, but Louis Riddick, who understands the defensive back position pretty darn well, current ESPN analyst, former player himself, said that Brandon is clearly the weak link in that Ravens secondary, and he's been treated as such this year in a contract season. Every single quarterback knows, and as Jimmy Smith mentioned, if you think it's going to be 50-50 that he may not be aware of where the football is, they're going to test him, and they've tested him early. They've tested him often, and too often, unfortunately, for Brandon's sake, he has not answered that test.
He don't turn his head. I played defensive back a long time ago in high school. I was a free safety. Yep. This dude, you always got to look back and see where that ball is. He hasn't done that all year long. He made me want to slap the sugar hot iced tea out of him. Shit out of him.
Oh, man. I love MacFour After Dark. And I think at some point here, we're going to have to kind of combine this After Dark flavor. You and me both. Don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe when they raise the Lombardi in the days that follow. We'll do a straight up After Dark. And everybody can join the show in After Dark mode. You're going to be one of them.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, thank you for spending another year with me on my birthday. Hopefully I'll be around for 62.
Heck yeah. I look forward to it, Mac. Enjoy yourself. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And apparently it's the birthday day, January 12th. What gives? Manny down there in Houston, Mac down there in Covington, Georgia. Gotta love it. Gotta love the birthday love today. I appreciate you guys for being here. If you haven't already done so, please consider following me on Instagram at Bobby Baltimore for more post-game reactions, more Instagram reels. You can do so. Again, right here is the handle at Bobby Baltimore. The second 0, or I should say the second O, is a 0 to differentiate. We had the smelling.
The man of the people right here.
From yesterday, courtesy of James. We had some post-game reaction in here, so would love to connect with you guys there. And while you're at it, you can join the Bobby Baltimore Discord server as well. That is a growing community. We are quickly approaching 800 members, and it is free to do so. You can click on the link that I'm about to throw in the chat to join if you'd like. It's a 24/7 hub for conversations surrounding Baltimore sports, and I would love for you guys to hop in there. Bunch of like-minded people. And I appreciate everybody for helping me grow this thing little by little. Captain Hard hits me with a super chat and says, I'll say this. Stevens does have his moments. Yes, overall, he hasn't cost us games like Marcus or Eddie. For those of you who haven't yet heard Jimmy Smith's analysis on Brandon Stevens, why don't we go ahead and replay that, because I thought it was insightful from the pregame show prior to Ravens-Browns last weekend in Baltimore.
Great secondary. I think Stevens went through his Marcus Peters phase. Honestly, like, somebody gets targeted, right? I'm not going to target him. I'm not going to target him. That person gets targeted. So sometimes it is the fact that you're not playing as good, or the fact that they just say, hey, you know what? We're just going to go at him. He doesn't have enough confidence. So I think Brandon Stevens has probably showed the most of any DB we have. Wow, like, what's relentless resilience, because he has been getting targeted. And when they won first down, they come after him. But the fact that we got Tre'Davious White and they kept Brandon starting lets you know that, like, he's a guy that can keep working towards what he's going to. When the ball gets in the air, he finds that calmness and just makes the play, which he does sometimes. But that's what they target the most. The difference between Brandon Stevens is ball skills. It's not that he's not there. It's not that he's not fast enough. It's not that he won't tackle. He does all those things. But when that ball's in the air and that panic hits your heart at corner, it's a different feeling. The ball hits the air for him, panic settles in, I think, a little bit, and he doesn't just gently turn around, go up and grab it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's right there. Like, he turns around, the ball hits his elbow. Like, he's not there. It's just when teams are targeting you like that, it's very hard to gain confidence, because you're like, every game I'm getting 12 targets. Yeah. And they're getting like 8, right? And then you read one thing or somebody says one thing, you start to, your confidence goes down. As a cornerback, your confidence is probably, besides your athletic ability, which is number 1, I would say your confidence is 1B. Like, you need to be just as confident as you are athletic to play corner. If he's a high draft pick, they give him another year because, okay,
it's a contract.
You know what I mean?
It's a contract year for him.
Exactly. So he had to battle something that, you know, a lot of corners have, you go through this. You go through a part where people think, hey, he's vulnerable, right? And the thing is, once somebody does one thing to you as a corner, they're going to do it to you for the next 4 games, 5 games. If you can't stop it, they'll do it to you all season. So his thing is not being sticky in coverage. It's not doing, it's literally having the calmness and the patience when that ball's in the air to locate it, right? Like, once you get on a I'm getting beat, you start playing a little bit more tense, a little tight. And I felt like he went through a little bit of that. I think they brought Tre'Davious in. Tre'Davious had a couple good plays on some fades, right? And then Brandon, all of a sudden, you start seeing Brandon in the game. And I watched, obviously, them the most. I watched Brandon get even more close in tight coverage. Like, I don't agree with every PI that they call on Brandon. But he is the one that they target. Just like Marcus was the one that they targeted a few years ago when it was all of us. It's just, if you have laps in your game, your coverage, your game, they're going to come after you. So for him, it's like, oh, you're good. You're really good. But I'm always betting 50-50 that when I throw that ball, I don't know if you're going to turn around. And right now, he's 50-50. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he. So that I thought was a big improvement in the last 10 weeks, because he's now been in the call. If it is the PI, I'm like, I don't know about that one. Before, I'm like, oh, my God, that's bad. Now I'm like, oh, no, he's right there. Like, I can see his growth.
The more and more you listen to Jimmy's comments there on Brandon Stevens, the more and more you get a clear indication that they're spot on. You can go check out that full conversation over in the Bobby Baltimore Best of archived clips on the front page of my YouTube channel. I will give you some news for tomorrow's Ravens Lunch Hour live stream that Sarah just texted me about a couple minutes ago. Broadway performer and Maryland's own Samantha Polino will be joining us tomorrow at 12:30 on our Ravens Lunch Hour live stream. So she had an incredible performance last night. And I know I've been constantly talking about this, but I was blown away. I was blown away by the decibels of that O from that from that crowd. I was blown away by her concentration when that O came in hot. I was blown away by the game day environment and experience out in Baltimore. And I look forward to having a diehard Ravens fan in Samantha Polino on our show tomorrow at 12:30. So that's what we have to look forward to coming up. Guest lines are still open. Over 1,200 of you concurrently watching. If you're in the Twitter space, consider popping over to YouTube. Helps out the channel greatly, and it's a lot more interactive over here as well. Let's go on to Dre. It's been a minute, and the last couple times he popped on, I had to leave him hanging. So I do owe you, Dre. Good to see you, my friend. What's going on?
What's up, bro? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Happy Sunday.
Yo, happy Sunday to everybody. Happy solar return or happy birthday to the birthday boys out there and girls out there. Great win for the Ravens, man. Huge win. This is what we all wanted to see against Kansas City last year. Run the ball with your guys. And what Derrick Henry is doing at 31 is just simply amazing. And we've never seen anything like this. Match that with Lamar Jackson's pure, unadulterated talent in all phases of the game.
Yep.
It's just special what we're watching, man. And like we typically, or like we say a lot on here, we got to really honor what we're watching, man. This is not something that's going to come around again anytime soon. Like, think about what this duo is doing. Think about the records that they're breaking. There's a lot of first-time records that are being broken right now. That means that it's never happened in the NFL plus 100-year history. So we got to respect this and we got to honor this. And, like, man, just take in this moment, fans. Like, take in this moment and really appreciate it.
Well said, man. This is an unprecedented run they're on right now. Look at what Lamar has done since the bye week. I mean, these numbers speak for themselves, and that's why I lean more on what have you done for me lately, like we said all week long, rather than what have you done for me throughout a 6-game sample size going into the weekend in the month of January, which all of which requires context that so many on the national level aren't willing to provide. So we're going to obviously be awaiting when this specific game time and game date is. But what we know for sure is, for those of you just popping on, maybe you've been living under a rock this afternoon, Ravens-Bills, a rematch of what we watched in week 4, which was utter domination by the Ravens. Speaking of domination, Philadelphia putting some licks on right now in this wild card matchup in Philly. It's 10-0 with about 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter over the Green Bay Packers. So we'll see if the Eagles, by the way, did anybody catch that saxophone? I know I've been on a national anthem grind right now, but did anybody catch that national anthem saxophone performance? It was incredible, Dre. You got to go look it up after you get done driving. The freaking thing sent chills all throughout my body, much like Samantha did last night.
Yeah. Let me say 2 quick things, Bobby, and I'll hop. One thing that I say a lot of the times when I'm doing life coaching sessions, it takes a chance to make a change. And with Lamar Jackson and his whole historicity of not success in the playoffs, the more chances he gets, the more changes we will see. And that's been proven. Like, we're seeing that every single year with this kid. And then the second thing I want to say, we a little bit further in age, but yo, let me tell you something. I'm not trying to be morbid. I think I said this before, but remember, the 2 leading causes of death in men our age, sleep deprivation and dehydration. All right. So please be careful with those energy drinks, and please make sure you get your rest, bro. We need you out here. We love you out here. And I appreciate your vulnerability the other day. It's very rare with today's society, men actually are able to be vulnerable in unfamiliar spaces, right? We know you through a camera, bro. We know you through a camera, and the love that we got for you is real. So just take care of yourself, man, for real.
I appreciate it. I certainly can't get into the habit of what happens with these primetime games. And honestly, I don't like to lean on – the only reason why I have these Ghost energy drinks is because of promoters at the tailgate, and she'll give me like, packs because she's just giving them out. So I never willingly buy that stuff. Point taken for sure. And, that came out of nowhere yesterday. That was crazy. That was one of those things where it's like you just kind of working your tail off and your head is down. And sure, I had like a little blip in the radar with that whole, dating thing that went south the other day, which is really not a bit, it's kind of irrelevant, but just like the magnitude of the moment, Baltimore being front and center for a primetime game, you're going a million miles an hour, viewerships through the roof. We're hitting all these like milestones that we never thought we'd hit.
And you got that 1099.
The 1099, like it's just so on and so forth. And I'm hitting these marks that I like wouldn't expected to hit in under 3 years. And I'm just filled with gratitude, filled with fulfillment. And it just like, bang, it just came out. And so
I'm proud of you, bro. I really am proud of you. We've literally been watching your growth and development as well. And I'm proud of you, man. I know, like I said, we got love, as far as, meeting you through this camera, bro. But for real, like, I'm really proud of your growth, really proud of your development. And just keep rocking out, bro. We got your back, man. We
Appreciate
got your
you, man.
man.
Thanks so much for the message, and safe travels out there tonight.
All right, my man. Thank you so much.
Talk soon. Yep. Dre Dog in the house. Back to New England's house goes Mike Vrabel. He and the Patriots reached a multi-year agreement to make him New England's next head coach. Former standout defensive player for them, absolute beast. He's now the 7th individual to become the head coach for a franchise he once helped win a Super Bowl as a player, joining some other names as well on that list. But for Mike, this was the worst kept secret. And now it's a one and done, obviously, for Gerard Mayo, who came in for 1 year as the successor of Bill Belichick. Didn't go well. And now Mike gets to take over, inherits Drake May as his second-year quarterback. And that's one less opening that's out there, which is notable, even though they never showed any interest in going after Todd Monken. It's just notable. The teams that have showed at least reported interest in Todd, Jacksonville, Chicago, and Vegas. Those are the 3 that have reportedly submitted interview requests to talk to Todd Monken, which they can do virtually coming up over the next couple days. Appreciate you guys, as always, for being here. I got to get some rest. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I'm dropping my daily live content. Please join me and Sarah coming up tomorrow. We will start to set the stage for what's coming up. It's Bills and Ravens and a chance to go to the AFC Championship game coming up next weekend. A to-be-determined time and date. Maybe by the time you're watching this on a rerun, that's already been announced later tonight. We'll see, but cannot wait. And that's what we have coming up, and that's what we're working towards this upcoming week. Appreciate you guys, as always. Dre, that was an awesome message. And thanks to Oceans, Chris, Mike, and Captain Hard for some super chats tonight. I'll catch up with you guys soon. Later.